Judge hands Biden admin huge setback in big tech government censorship case. And good. We know that government and these tech companies are working hand in hand to censor your free speech. Is basically fascism is what's going on right now. But yet they quick to call the right fascists when they are the actual fascists. Classic projection. But before we get started, go ahead, hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Now, when you hit that alarm bell, you can change it from personal to all. That way, you get all of my notifications for when I'm putting out stuff. And also check out my link tree in the description. There's a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here, and there's also a link to my Instagram where I put out even more news there. All right, let's talk about this news. The Biden administration attempt to block depositions of several key officials was turned down November 2nd by a U.S. judge. U.S. Judge Terry Doughty, a Trump appointee, rejected a request for a partial stay on his October 21st order authorizing the depositions of 8 officials, including President Joe Biden's chief medical advisor, Dr. Anthony Fauci. Now, why wouldn't, if everything is on the up and up, if you all for transparency like they all try to say and all that stuff, why wouldn't you want to go before a judge and explain your position? What are you hiding? That's the question. They're definitely hiding something. We know even Mark Zuckerberg came out and talked about the cozy friendship that he and the government have when it comes to censorship. Government lawyers asked the judge to impose the partial stay as an appeals court weighs a request to vacate the part of his order that enables the deposition of Surgeon General Vivek Murthy, a Biden appointee, Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency Director Jen Easterly, a Biden appointee, and Rob Flaherty, a deputy assistant to the president. Absent a stay, quote, high-ranking governmental officials would be diverted from their significant duties and burden in both preparing and sitting for a deposition, all of which may ultimately prove to be unnecessary if the Court of Appeals grants their request, the government said. Well, what significant duties might that be? Blocking people from freedom of speech? Is that their significant duties? But Doughty ruled that the government failed to show how the officials would be irreparably harmed apart from referencing a diversion from, quote, significant duties that didn't meet the standard for showing irreparable harm, he said. On the other hand, the plaintiffs, include the attorneys general of Missouri and Louisiana, would be irreparably harmed by a partial stay because they alleged a violation of the U.S. Constitution, First Amendment, and the quote, the loss of the First Amendment freedoms, even for minimal periods of time, unquestionably constitutes irreparable injury. Doughty said, quoting from a ruling in a separate case. Amen there. So that they have no problem with getting rid of your First Amendment rights, but they can't show up to explain why they're doing this. But quote, the court finds that both the public interest and the interest of the other parties in preserving free speech significantly outweighs the inconvenience the three deponents will have in preparing for and giving their depositions, he added. The depositions are scheduled to take place in early December, and I'm definitely going to be paying attention to that. So be checking out reports on that. And Fauci is slated for November, according to the notice made public by the Gateway Pundit, one of the plaintiffs. This is a big case here. It's a big case for freedom of speech. It's a big case for censorship. I can't wait to see the outcome of this, and you definitely believe I'm going to be on it. But let me know what you think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, and check out themarkrepublics.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.